my turn to fly, but will I find my way to the place where I belong? It's time to say goodbye to yesterday. The truth has been here all along. What is this force calling me? Will I reveal it? 'Cause I can feel it now. But how will I know the time to let go and just let the wind carry me? I can feel it. I can feel I'm free. Fly away. Free to believe that someday I will finally belong. To fly through the sky. I won't apologize for who I am, 'cause it's my turn to fly. Somewhere there is light. If I believe in me, can these dreams I have take flight? There is a force calling me. Will I feel it? 'Cause I can feel it now. But how will I know the time to let go and just let the wind carry me? I can feel it. I can feel I'm free. Fly away. Free to believe that someday I will finally belong. To fly through the sky. I won't apologize for who I am, 'cause it's my turn to fly. Now I know it's time to let go. I am free to dream and fly beyond where I can see. Fly away, 'cause I believe that someday I will finally belong. If I fly through the sky, I won't apologize for who I am, 'cause it's my turn to
Absolutely beautiful. You're listening to Big Blend Radio's Happy Hour Show with Nancy and Lisa, the mother-daughter travel team and publishers of Big Blend magazines. And you just heard It's My Turn to Fly, the latest release by the acclaimed singer-songwriter and recording artist Lisa Dawn Miller. And along with being the daughter of songwriting legend Ron Miller, she's also a veteran musical producer and stage performer in the long-running musical Sandy Hackett's Rat Pack. Now, this is a family affair, and it's cool. In fact, she's calling, talk about cool, she's calling from Colorado, where they just performed to a sold-out Pikes Peak Center crowd. Over 2,000 people watched them perform.
That's so cool.
And now she gets to go snow skiing and all that good stuff and play Christmas with her family, everyone together. I encourage you to go to her website, lisadawnmiller.com. That's DAWN, lisadawnmiller.com. And also keep up with the show. Go to sandysratpack.com. Lisa, welcome back. How are you?
I'm fine, Lisa. How are you? Hi,
Oh,
Nancy. Thanks for having me on.
we're so excited to have you back on. It's been a while. But what? I think we do this every year. We're every year.
Pretty much.
I think so. I'm trying to keep up. I can't keep up with things. I just keep doing. But it's got to be the same way for you. You've got your own career on top of performing and touring. So you're busy.
Wow, I have to tell you, I'm sitting here listening to that song. It's My Turn to Fly. I wrote that several months ago, even though we just released it at the end of the summer, and I haven't heard it in a while. You'll work on something for days or months, and then you kind of put it away, you release it, and you don't listen to it for a while. And I'm on the 7th floor overlooking a beautiful lake in Breckenridge Village, and it is just so picturesque here and so beautiful. And I think back to when I wrote that song, and I think of, how far I've come since that time. I think, at the beginning of the year, my son, who I'm very proud of, Oliver, who was accepted at NYU. He's now a student at the Tisch School of the Arts. You kind of go through that phase where you're letting go and you're really excited for your kids. They're about to fly and go off, and then you kind of look at your own life and you're like, oh, now what? My life, even though I have, done so much professionally, obviously as a mom, my kids have always been my priority. But then when they go off and it's their turn to go live their lives, then, that's what that song was about for me, is about, okay, it's my turn. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do more and I'm going to make all of these things happen. And I just can't believe how much has happened since I wrote that song and being here in
That's
Colorado.
amazing, right? Yeah, I remember you being on the show with it. It's My Turn Begins Today, and you've got you've also you've done 2 EPs, and so do you have another full one in the works? What's happening on that level? Because I love It's My Turn to Fly is so beautiful to me. I really do feel that you feel like that release of okay and acceptance of now it's okay. I can do this with full commitment to it and feel good about it. You're allowed to fly. I can feel good about it. That's what's so beautiful about that song. Yeah, it's happy.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like I keep trying to get back to me, but as a mom and all the moms listening out there, as you know, no matter what your life, whether you're a lawyer or a politician or an entertainer, whatever your life is, your kids are your priority. So, and in my case, my kids are also entertainers, so I manage their careers as well. So, there's the personal side and the professional side as well. But even on the professional side, I've always made their careers a priority. And but, being up here in Colorado, it's great. Oliver met us here from NYU. We just finished doing a show, as you said, at the Pikes Peak Center, which just was in a beautiful, beautiful venue in Colorado Springs up here, and just gorgeous. We're very excited about the show. Sold out. 2,000 people. Sandy, my husband, Sandy Hackett, plays Joey Bishop in the show. As you know, Sandy Hackett's Rat Pack show. It's a live theatrical production that takes you back to what it would have been like had you seen the real Rat Pack on stage. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Joey Bishop. And for our Christmas show, we had a special guest. Our daughter, Ashley, came in and sang for the first time and danced with the character who plays Sammy Davis Jr. They did Candyman together, and she brought the house down. So it was really special because it was like, passing the torch to the next generation. And she just killed it. It was amazing.
But you're passing the torch on stage together. There's one thing about watching your children on stage grow through the years, when they're really young and then getting into teenage and then, going off like what, Oliver's doing, and Ashley's a little younger, right? But there's one thing of where you're sitting in the audience and watching at a school production to now this is part of your production and then watching them grow on stage. I mean, you look at what, Oliver too. I mean, he's played with some pretty amazing people in life like Stevie Wonder. So when you look at this, like how is that on stage as a mom versus being like in the audience? Which one is harder? Or more exciting? That's a good question.
Yeah, I have to say that I really love watching them from the house, but, I can never take my producer hat off. I'm always wanting to make everything perfect. I'm always wanting to look at how we can make something better. But I do have to tell you this story that's just amazing to me. So we've been working on Ashley's scene from Los Angeles prior to coming up here, and Sandy was actually directing the scene, my husband. And during rehearsal, when she sang it for the first time, I looked over at Sandy and he had tears rolling down his face. I mean, there was such pride watching her perform because, as a parent, I think aside from being an entertainer, you're just proud that your child gets to do something that they love and that they're doing it well. And then as an entertainer, you think, wow, she's really got it, or he's really got it. They're amazing, and you're just so happy for them. So it's I love watching my kids perform. I've watched Oliver through the years, as you've said. We did a record for him when he was 10 years old of One Little Christmas Tree. My father wrote that song. Stevie Wonder recorded it originally for his Someday Christmas album. And Stevie Wonder only did one Christmas album, and my father wrote most of the songs on that album. And I remember that year, this is going back, Oliver was 10, he's 18, so 8 years ago, Justin Bieber had just come out with Someday Christmas. That was one of the songs that put him on the map. And he was invited by the President of the United States to come and sing that song. And so I told Oliver, I said, why don't we do a song for you from that album, and maybe the President will invite you. So we recorded One Little Christmas Tree. Oliver was 10, and we did a video. And 2 weeks later, the President didn't call, but Stevie Wonder called and said, I heard that. It was amazing. Will Oliver come and sing that at my House Full of Toys benefit at the Nokia Theater, which is now the Microsoft Theater. And it was just such an amazing event because Stevie Wonder took Oliver under his wing and talked about my father and the circle of life and how he was so young when he met my father and recorded For Once in My Life, my father's song. And it was such an amazing, Oliver killed it, standing ovation from 8,000 people. It was just such an incredible experience. But even then, I was getting ready to perform right after him. I was invited to be on the show as well. I'm crying backstage watching him. When it was my turn, I almost was. I couldn't compose myself because I had tears rolling down my face. I was so proud of him. So. Oh
wow, that's so wild to be at the mom and be part of it and manage. And I'm glad that you're there to watch over him because when youth go into the world of performing arts, it can get tricky. And from what I've seen, and having our radio chats with you over the years, that your heart's in that place, that right place, and that your kids are being watched over. They're not left out in the cold of of the crazy, because the world is like that. I do want to ask you, when you go back into your dad's history, I know that you're getting into publishing, and I want to talk about that and what you're putting together for your dad, but the musical. But I was watching you on Facebook. You went to Motown, and it was so funny because we just did a segment with one of our travel writers, Debbie Stone. She went to Detroit, and she went to Cleveland. She went all these places, and so we were doing these stories, and she went to Motown, and she's talking about Berry Gordy, and then I'm like, but look, Lisa's there right now, like she's hanging out with us, like Berry Gordy, your kids and stuff, and I'm like, dude, what's going on? And I wanted to call you up and say, hey, like let's get the scoop on this, and I want the scoop because all I want to know is like when we go to Detroit on our Love Your Parks tour. Are you going to be our tour guide? I'm serious. You should totally take us on that tour.
Well, what's amazing is that, I was born in Detroit, and yes, my family, obviously, my father was one of the original writers with Motown Records, and recently, probably some of the events that you saw me attending, I was at I sang my father's song For Once in My Life at the Heroes and Legends Awards, which is an event that the Janie Bradford, who's a longtime Motown legend herself, who's written many songs. She puts this event together every year. They raise money for youth in the arts, and everybody comes together, the whole Motown family, to honor and give scholarships to young people who are pursuing the arts. And so I was very honored to sing my father's song for once in my life, and it was really nice to connect with my Motown family because, my mom and dad go way back, and Janie in particular has always really kept their memory alive and has honored them in so many ways. And it was so wonderful to be with everybody. And Berry Gordy comes, and Robert Gordy and the whole family, and they're just such a wonderful, warm, obviously successful, loving family. And then there was another event that was put on a few months later called Strike Fest, and it was the children of Fuller Gordy who put this on, and Fuller Gordy was the brother of Berry Gordy, and he used to love bowling. My dad was actually part of the Motown Bowling League, so they get together, and again they raise money for the arts, and so everybody comes out. It's a more casual event, and it was amazing to see Berry Gordy and his brother Robert Gordy bowling. I mean, they must be in their upper 80s now. They're maybe 87 or 88, 89 years old, and they were bowling like they were, 40. I mean, they were more fit than some of the younger people there. And
everybody
really,
looked
really
happy in those
fun.
photos. I'm serious. Everything that I saw, everyone looked like a big happy family and like a reunion, yet also new, and it just looked, to me, Motown is like part of our heritage. Like that's part of that's our song makeup, man. That's who we are.
Yeah.
When you think about all those songs, like, For Once in My Life, who doesn't know that, right? Are we going to get in trouble for singing "Baby It's Cold Outside"? Like seriously? No. I didn't say that. I just found out that For Once in My Life is Motown's most recorded song. Of all the songs that came out of Motown Records, my father's song was the most recorded song, and it's been recorded by more major label artists than any other song, and I'm really proud of that because I know that, it's interesting because now, my father's been gone a while. He passed away in 2007, and my mom always used to say that his biggest success would be after he passed away, which is often with artists. I mean, that happens. There's a greater appreciation for them in their death than in their life. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is to bring out and exploit all of the songs that have never been heard before, because he I don't know, for your listeners, he wrote For Once in My Life, Touch Me in the Morning, Place in the Sun, Heaven Help Us All, Yesterday, Yesterday, Someday Christmas, I've Never Been to Me, If I Could, on and on and on. Apparently there's 500 songs, right? That's what you're doing.
Yes.
You're getting to do the Ron Miller Songbook because you're doing the publishing website, and everyone, you can go to ldmpublishing.com. But you're doing that, but you're also doing a musical for him.
Yes, I'm really excited. I'm my publishing company is not just for my dad's songs, but it's interesting because my whole life I've rather than pursue entertainment when I was younger, I actually pursued and became a stockbroker and worked my way up to first vice president of Morgan Stanley. That's how I spent most of my adult life, and it wasn't until I met my husband, Sandy, that I decided to pursue entertainment. So most of my background has to do with the financial markets. But then when I did meet Sandy in 2003, he said, you know what, you should be singing, you should be out there. And he really encouraged me to go out there, put me on stage. And so now I'm, it's interesting because in producing shows and producing records, as much as I love the creative side of it, there's also the business side of it. So as much as I'd love to believe that it was, 99% art and 1% business, it's exactly the opposite. It's 1% creative and 99% everything else, the marketing, getting everything out there, the business, the legal, So, and Sandy has that background also. I mean, he has a great business head, has been in business forever, but he's also incredibly creative and very talented, obviously, comedian. His teacher was Buddy Hackett, his father, and he's very funny. So we both share that where we can bring our creative energies together and yet use our business background to help run the business of what we're doing. So in putting together this publishing company over the last couple of years, I've really concentrated on building my own catalog, and I've written about 70 songs, which are in my publishing company, and I'm also controlling and managing my father's songs as well.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I think it's exciting, and I think you're keeping you out there too. You're, doing your thing, which I think is important. I know, Nancy. I mean, that is part of it. Is a mom has to do their own thing. I know.
Well, eventually you get your chance.
Yeah.
But I do believe that
exactly.
you do, as you're raising your children, you are part of that, a huge part, and so I think you're always there. But there is a time when you're like, okay, what about me? What about me?
Well, and then you get to a point where it's kind of like, you're being a mom. It just becomes for me anyway, and for my mother too, is always been the priority and the most important thing. And
absolutely,
because my kids are creative, we've been able to work on a lot of creative projects together, which I love. So we share that interest, and I'm so proud of both of my kids, and Oliver being a Tisch student now and pursuing music, and he's also an incredible writer and director as well. And I see Ashley writing and directing too. I mean, they both
awesome.
have that talent. So, you get to the point where, yes, all along, I think I've tried to balance everything. I've tried to manage the show, and traveling with the show has been exciting, but it's also presents challenges because I, of course, wanted to make it to every performance of my kids. So if I'm in New York and I've got a day off, I came home to see the performance and then went back to New York the next day because I wanted to be there. So, but Buddy Hackett did the same thing for his kids. Sandy told me stories about how he would do his shows in Vegas, and he'd do the last show, and then he'd get on the last plane. They'd actually hold the plane for him, and he'd be home to make breakfast for them in the morning. So that's the life. You have to find the balance of getting out there and doing your own thing, and yet making your kids the priority too.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, speaking of kids, Oliver is saying, I Can See, and I want to play that for people. This is one of the most beautiful songs, and it was written by your dad, right?
Yeah. There's an interesting story with that. My father was working on a musical years ago that never really came to be, but he had written 4 songs for the musical, and it was about Betty Boop. And it was the storyline was that Betty Boop becomes president, and she actually wins.
I wish.
And right, exactly. And she sings this incredibly idealistic, positive, optimistic song of hope. Which I heard this song and I thought, wow, this song is so perfect and so inspiring for today, because hope is something that that we really need, but it also acknowledges that we have problems and things aren't perfect. So I gave this song to Oliver years ago when he was I think he was 9 or 10 years old. We recorded it, and we shot a video for it, and I never, for some reason, it was the only incomplete project. I just shelved the project. I never finished it. And so when Oliver was getting ready to leave for NYU, I had a surprise college send-off party for him, and I had been working on a video for months of his life and interviewing his friends and his teachers and everything. And I was trying to think of how I could possibly conclude the video. What could I possibly say to him as he goes off into the world? And I pulled up the old footage from this video that I never edited, and I listened to it, and it's all about always remembering to see the positive and look for the good despite what may be in front of you and despite the challenges. And at the time, I was going through some challenges myself, and I was wondering, what would my parents say to me as I go through challenges in my life? If they were here today, what words of wisdom would they have? And the words are in that song. So when I finished the video, this was the conclusion of the video. I edited that video of Oliver when he was 10 years old of him singing this song, and I gave that to him as his going away present to NYU. And I said, if someday, I'm not around and you'd wondered what I'd say, this is what it would be.
Wow.
And so I gave that to him, of him singing it when he was 10. But then before he left for NYU, I said, let's go into the studio and let's record it now with you as an adult. And we did it, and that's the record that we just released this month.
Wow. So here it is, everybody. I Can See by Oliver Richmond. And again, keep up with everything to do with Lisa Dawn Miller at lisadawnmiller.com and also at ldmpublishing.com. Here it is. I Can See. It's so beautiful.
See a wonderful tomorrow, waiting for the world to come inside, a world we won't neglect, with mutual respect. We'll build a dream that fear cannot divide and conquer. I can see the promise of the future as we live without the sorrow of the past. Whatever pain it takes, we'll learn from our mistakes and realize that people don't come last. There's no easy way, there's debts we have to pay to those of us who struggle to survive. We don't have the right to sleep that well at night, while half the world is only half alive. Oh, I can see the smile of every mother as the tears of war are washed away to sea. I know it sounds naive, but damn it, I believe there's still some love inside of you and me. I love the world that I can see.
Again, everyone, Oliver Richmond singing I Can See, written by Ron Miller, and we have Lisa Dawn Miller, Ron Miller's daughter, with us, and she's been talking about her career, her kids' career, her husband. I mean, everyone. It's a family career. It's a family affair, man. It is. It's a family affair. But what a beautiful, beautiful rendition. It's got to be exciting. So the whole family right now, you're all out in the winter wonderland, and so do you guys ski and sing when you go down the slopes at the does that happen?
Yeah, we do actually. I don't know about the singing, but we all ski. Sandy introduced us all to skiing. The kids were really young. When I met him, I think I had been skiing once, but he used to come up to Aspen with his dad and had so many wonderful memories as a child being up in Colorado, and he really wanted us to share in that. So we've been coming since, the kids were babies, and they love it, and we love skiing and being being in the snow, and it's such a nice getaway. And it's month. I mean, we've had a great tour with Rat Pack this month. You were just talking earlier. I heard you mention something about one of your guests being from Jacksonville. We were just up in Bunnell, and we played the Flagler Auditorium this month, which was great audiences. We've played Jacksonville a bunch of times, and we were also in Toledo, Ohio. It's just been such a, and we were also in Little Rock, Arkansas at the Reynolds Performance Hall.
Oh,
so
cool.
to come here and to wrap it, up this way, it's great. We're having an awesome time. And then we're going to head back to LA tomorrow, and every year I do a huge it's an annual event, a Christmas Eve dinner where I cook for about 40 people. And it's the only time of year that I'm always so busy. I don't really have a lot of time to cook.
I'm just going to ask you why. Why do you want to cook for 40 people?
Because I love doing it. I just don't get a chance to do, to be that domesticated when during the year, and so it's the one time where I get to make everyone's favorite dishes. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's nice. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys got a breakout in the snow too. But it is time to play Spontaneous, the song game. Okay, so this is you haven't played Spontaneous with us yet, and this is a favorite thing. I mean, this is a New Year's tradition for us now. Spontaneous. We play it with our Hollywood historian Steve Schneikert, and we've actually managed to Skype a board game. I mean, it's you can do it. But this is our radio version. I thought, you've got to do it. I mean, hello, how many songs do you have under your belt? We're going to do that. So let's play it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack Nancy first.
Oh, nice.
So
thank you.
Lisa played on Facebook with me today, so
cool.
She's ready. Listen, Spontaneous is one of the best games. I think when you can have music, and you do not need to be a singer to play it.
Are you trying to say something about my singing?
No, but I'm just saying it's really great when we do have singers on our show. It's like, okay. And what it is, I give you a word. This is a radio version, but the board game version's pretty simple, and it's really cool. To me, it's about disconnecting. Put things down. Board games should never, ever go out of style, and apparently Rob's done well with it. But I'm going to give you a word, and I need 5 words, 5 from the lyrics of a song. That's it. 5 lyrics.
I got it.
That's it.
Is this for Nancy or for me right now? Nancy. Okay.
Yeah, Nancy. I'm going to do Nancy first, just so you can take a sip of your toddy. Take a sip of your toddy. Look at the snow. It's all good. But everybody has 10 seconds, and I'm going to play the little clock thingy because I can. Because the clock is coming out.
I hate the clock.
Yeah, well, the clock is coming out. So here it is. Okay, so Nancy, your word is, what can I do? Your word is, I always give you weird ones. I'll be nice.
I know.
You want me to be nice?
Just get it over with.
Okay.
So much fun.
Your word is, I can't give you wine again. I know that's your favorite one. I know, it's her favorite word. Give me
something different.
Okay.
You're running
Your
out of
word
time.
is joy.
Oh, joy to the world, the Savior's come.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
well,
a Christmas song. Yeah,
all right.
That's easy.
I don't even...
Or we could do joy to the world, all the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me.
That was what came to my mind.
I just, it's Christmas.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Oh, God, the pressure is on. The pressure is on.
Okay, so Nancy's on. Nancy's on. Okay, so your word, Lisa, is, let me think, what can I give you that, it's hard because you've got a catalog.
Feel free to jump in and help me if I'm not getting
Okay.
Teamwork.
Somehow I think Lisa's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Your word is, let's see. Your word, Lisa, is love.
Love. All you need is love. Or love is the answer. I love that song too.
No, but you have to do 5. You have to do 5
did.
words. All you need is oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
All
I
you
can't
need
count.
is love. Right.
It's happy hour. I can't count. You did good. You guys did good.
Well, love is a really
And
easy,
I gave you 2 songs. I gave you 2 songs.
I know, and both of you did. Okay, so Lisa, you can give me a word because Elisa should give another Lisa
make
word.
Make it really hard.
Don't be mean.
Because she
you want me
never
to make
plays
it hard?
Yes. Oh,
okay.
So nice.
I'm
going to have to run the clock on myself here. Okay.
It's so nice you have me on the show every year, and I love talking to you guys. I'll be nice. Okay. How about wind?
Because you are the wind beneath my wings.
Exactly.
Perfect. That's
Did
what
I
I
ever tell you that you're my hero? And I won't sing that whole part, but I messed it up. But there it is. Okay.
That was really
there it is.
good.
I know.
Excellent.
She's like the wind through the leaves.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
what I was
Patrick
thinking.
Swayze.
Have you ever
Dirty
met an
Dancing.
old windbag?
No. No. Very good. Very good. Okay, so Lisa, always such a pleasure having you on the show. We're going to close with Miracle. This is such a beautiful song. It's one of my favorites that you have done and recorded. So tell us about Miracle.
My sister Angel, who actually is the reason for Once in My Life was written. My father wrote that song for her the day she was born. She had a child who was born with Asperger's and all kinds of problems, and who actually wasn't even supposed to live. And it's a miracle. Her story is a miracle, and she's been an inspiration to everyone. And I'm proud to say that she's now 24 years old and has survived. And I was speaking with her last year, and she told me about some of the hard times that she's had growing up and how lonely she has felt in her life because sometimes she's been alienated or people don't want to talk to her because she's different. And I said, well, how did you get through a lot of that? Did you have anyone to talk to? She goes, well, I made up a lot of friends. I had a lot of imaginary friends who helped me get through a lot of the tough times. And I said, well, what would it be like if they ever came to life one day and you could spend one day with them? And she had tears in her eyes, and she said, I would love that. That would be so fun. So I wrote a song for her called A Miracle, about a little girl who's alone but finds love in her friends when a miracle happens on a very special day. And it's for my niece Angelique.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. And yeah, I love to hear how we can overcome things and get creative to continue forth, and I love that.
Everybody needs help.
Mm-hmm.
And I like a world where people help each other, not where people divide each other.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I love this.
I agree.
I love this.
My father spent his whole life writing about a better and hope for tomorrow, a better place, a better time when we could all be there and help one another. And Angelique is a very special girl who has given so much love to so many people. I really wanted to do something special for her for Christmas, and that's why I wrote that song for her.
Okay, and what is your favorite Christmas dish? Like, what do you have to have at Christmas? What are you eating and drinking? What do you have to have? Like, you're making, dinner for 40 people, but what is your thing?
Oh, I love chocolate soufflés. That's one of my specialties.
I'm coming to hang out with you.
And I like them when they're hot and fluffy, and they come out of the oven and they're perfect. And with whipped cream, I love that.
And you can make a soufflé because they are not easy to make. Like, I need Gordon Ramsay to come help me. Yeah.
And not only do I make them, I've worked hard to make sure that I can get 40 of them out of the oven absolute perfect, so that none of them have fallen by the time the guests eat them.
Oh my gosh!
And they're pretty good. Yeah, they're good. They're delicious. So yeah, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of music during Christmas. We sing Christmas carols, and with all of the singers in the family, you've always got harmony and different arrangements of different songs, and we always have a lot of fun, a lot of laughs.
Wow.
We start early, and the whole Christmas Eve tradition started with my parents. And my father was Jewish, but they say all of the Jews write the greatest Christmas songs, and he did. He wrote some of the best Christmas songs, but he always loved Christmas. He always loved celebrating time with the family.
All our Jewish friends celebrate Christmas too. I mean, because Hanukkah, like that's cool. And everyone celebrates that, and I was like, hey, that's cool. You're lighting candles, and you get to fry food, and have latkes. But Christmas, like, you want to celebrate Christmas too.
If somebody,
I think we should everybody stop separating and just everybody should
celebrate.
Just celebrate everybody's
if your
celebration.
Is celebrating, I say join in.
Yeah, stop it. Let's just all celebrate.
Stop the you're this
right.
and I'm of that.
Yeah.
And this is this and that is that. I don't even believe in country borders. So
yeah,
I'm crazy. I just think let it be.
Yeah, let's just celebrate and have each other's holidays, because the more we celebrate, the happier we are.
Yeah.
I mean, within
and
reason.
and Christmas for my dad was always a time of he always had hope, no matter how tough things got. And as a songwriter, that there were so many ups and downs in the career of a songwriter. But no matter what, he always made sure that everything was wonderful at Christmas. Everything always came together at Christmas. All of our dreams always came true on Christmas Eve. So I've written Christmas songs with that as my inspiration. And I can see it in my kids now. I'd be joking around and say, this year I'm not going to cook, or we'll order it, and they're like, no, Mom, no. They love the especially I would think for Oliver coming home and being in New York and living in the dorm, and then coming home to family and friends and cooking and tradition and celebration and music, and there's something about that you carry with you. You take that with you throughout your life. I know that I've carried those memories with me in almost everything I do. I stems from the moments that I shared with my family when I was a little girl. So I hope to create that for my family too, and that they have that love that will carry them through life.
Right on. You rock. Well, happy Christmas to all of you.
Mm-hmm.
To you, to
your
entire
Merry
family.
Christmas.
And may you enjoy that chocolate souffle, and I would like some right now. Thank you very much. Right now. We're gonna
Thanks so much
play.
for having me on.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Keep us
You're
posted
great.
on
so
your
much.
dad's musical and everything that you're doing.
I will.
Everyone, again, LisaDawnMiller.com, and also keep up with the Sandy's Rat Pack. Go to Sandy'sRatPack.com. They're going to be back east next year. I'm looking at Florida dates, back east, up north as well. So keep up with that so you can go and see one of the shows. And here it is.
Really quick.
Miracle.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.